guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you still remember me. If not, that's okay. I haven't posted in a year, and that's actually why I'm making a video. So, yay! So, this video is meant to be about the impact of 2020 on creativity. Whether you're an artist or a content creator of any kind, a writer, a YouTuber, anything. I've just noticed so many artists that I've known and loved have disappeared. And I feel like I've definitely disappeared off of social media, or at least I'm just very slow to post at this point. I always kind of was slow, but yeah, it's just way worse right now. So, like it or not, even though the world is kind of going back to normal, there is this impact that we all have on our creativity, and some people may not come back from it. Some people didn't even notice it. Some people just continued, or they even started making art, and that was the thing that got them through, all of the hard times. But I do want to address that loss of creativity and imagination. I feel like it's really important. Before I do that, though, I do want to talk about the art that I'm making here. So I first want to apologize if it looks a little choppy and badly edited. I tried. I'm not the best, but I'll get better. So I did want to talk about this particular piece, which is very important to me because during this time, the creative outlet or secondary creative outlet that I had was gardening. Actually, it's kind of a newer hobby. And it just came from during the, lockdown. Me and my husband would go for walks around the neighborhood and notice people's gardens, and I think that was what a lot of people in my neighborhood did, is like planting and, all that stuff. So I didn't actually start doing my own gardening until I first saw my neighbors doing it. And it's been a wonderful experience for me. It's been a creative and a mental health outlet, like a place for me to put my frustrations and my cares, and it's just been really good. And I am one of those people now. I talk to my plants, and I like to walk barefoot and hug trees now. But definitely talking to plants does work. But I felt like this image was really, it kind of speaks to the issue that we're talking about, and that is like nurturing your creativity, because it pays back. Your creativity pays back. And, in the same way that gardening does, when you allow that to flow out of you, you just receive so many benefits from it. So that's the meaning of this piece. But the topic that I want to talk about, of course, is about creative burnout and everything. So it kind of feels like this is where we want to get. This is where we want to be again, in a place where it's like you water your creativity and then it gives back to you. So just a little bit about my experience in the lockdown and everything. And I feel like people are sick of talking about this, but it is important. It was kind of like a collective trauma for everyone, whether you think it was or not. A lot of people were affected by it. So for me, the main source of strain was my job. And it was definitely, I can't talk too much about my job, but it was definitely impacted by everything that happened. It was a hard job to begin with, and then it was way harder, and then added to that, I just wasn't ever right for that role. I should have never done that job. And yeah, it was just really bad. And so yeah, yeah. In addition to that, I just like lost my creative flow. But before that, like 2019 to like the beginning of 2020 was the beginnings of my art career. Like for me, transitioning from a hobby artist to a professional artist. I was doing a lot of commissions back in 2019, and I was like getting somewhere, you know? And then I made this calendar. It was a zodiac calendar. It actually oddly really fit the theme of 2020 because it had like a dark theme. But it did so well, this calendar that I made. And I had to order like 3 different bulk shipments of these calendars to sell, and I did not expect that. So yeah, it was incredible. And then like the end of February 2020, I did a convention and I had a table, and I did so well. It was actually shocking to me. They usually tell you this was my first convention, by the way. They usually tell you that you will not make enough money to pay for the table, which I did actually, and I actually made way more than that. When we counted the money that I had made, I cried. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced like a positive mental breakdown, but that was definitely what happened to me. So, yeah, I had a really good year. And then I remember my parents saying to me, you know, because of everything that's happening in the world, you might not be able to do that for a while. And I was like, no, nothing's ever going to drag me down. Even if we have to stay inside for like 5 years, I will kill it. Like, I'm ready. I'm so pumped. Like, I can do this. And then guess what happened? Yeah, I lost all of my inspiration and creativity. And yeah, I kind of just wanted to talk about, I feel like I'm coming back. It's a slow, gradual progression back to being where I was before. And, you know, it's not something that can be rushed. Just because the world is going back to normal doesn't mean that it's just going to come back to you. It takes time, and you have to be patient with yourself. And it probably won't look the same as it did before. That's the thing about transformation, is that it's rarely when you go through a transformation do you look the same, but it's actually better for you. You end up being better for it. So there's encouragement in that. So I wanted to talk about some of the ways that I've attempted to nurture my creativity and things that I feel like are helping. So the first thing is just having a place to draw that's safe and comfortable. So for me, this is a sketchbook that I have that I don't let anyone see. It actually, on the inside cover, it says "for my eyes only," and I don't open it up and show it to anyone, not even my husband, although like he's definitely been there while I've been drawing in it, so I think he has an idea of what I draw in there, and there's nothing like weird, but yeah, it's for me. There's no judgment. This place has no judgment, and there's a lot of freedom in that, and I do a lot of character design practice, scenery practice, just objects, just drawing random things, plants, because I'm really trying to learn how to draw plants, and yeah, even things like figure drawing and just different things. I don't know. Also practicing my handwriting, which is really, really bad. The next thing is meditative drawing, which is basically just getting a pen and a piece of paper and just letting the pencil do what it wants. Like letting it, you know, using varying hardnesses, like pushing down harder on the paper and like letting up your grip and just gliding, like kind of like ice skating across the paper, making curves and, just odd shapes. And a lot of times, like, ends up looking very interesting, but I usually don't show those to anybody. You can do this while listening to music, but basically just let the pencil go and let it do what it needs to. This can really help you with line variation, like in your own drawings. So it actually has helped me with that, like controlling the pen and, like just letting it be, like the line be as thick as it needs, or thin as it needs to be. The next thing that has been helping me is something I did in a huge way, and that is basically just cutting out dead weight in your life. Now, I do not recommend that anyone do this unless they absolutely know that they would do well, but I did quit my job. And, I feel like I could pick up another job if I needed to, and I'd still be okay as long as it wasn't super crazy like my last job was. It took me a while to see it, but it wasn't just that I was being mistreated or anything. Like, I don't even think that's what the issue was. I think I just didn't fit into that role. And, finding those things in your life where you feel like a square peg trying to fit into a round hole, those things need to go, because they really do impact your creativity. So if that's like friends that maybe are negative, or living in a place that doesn't serve you or honor your mental and creative energy that you need, whether it is whatever, like just having a cleaner house or whatever. We don't need any stagnation. Like, it's already stagnant. If you're creative and you feel blocked, there's already stagnation. So just letting that kind of go and making big moves to, improve your situation. And, for me, again, I don't suggest anybody quit their job, but for me, I feel like it was totally worth it, even the monetary loss. I've been able to practice having faith in myself, and it's hard, but it's better than what I was going through before. I feel like it's definitely more livable, and I actually usually have a commission at all times, so that's pretty cool. Also, like, I started a Patreon and things like that. If y'all want to, like, check that out, description in the it'll be in the description below. But yeah, the next thing is just trying to allow yourself to reset and have new eyes. This can happen just by kind of like stopping. Like, it's important to kind of stop sometimes and reassess, but also trying to find the movement. Like, this is hard to explain. This is kind of weird, but I feel like your creativity is like a rhythm. And sometimes you just fall out of sync with it, and that's okay. It's okay to wait until it comes back around. But sometimes you can do this by doing other creative things. Like, for me, it was gardening. For you, it could be cooking, it could be baking, it could be like crafting. I've recently started watching videos where people make DIY doll houses, which is, if you ever look that up, oh my gosh, it's so extravagant. They'll take these things from like the dollar store and make these intricate doll houses. I just love watching those videos. Just finding new things that help you. And to be honest with you, it's possible that if you do that, that may kind of make art or whatever content you made before take a back seat, but that might be good for you. But it also could help you get back into the rhythm of creativity, and again, like, whether you like, one thing that I think is really cool is like journaling, working on your handwriting, Just do it like anything you can think of that's creative. They kind of are transferable skills. Although you have to learn a new way to do something, the creativity is still there. And in addition to that, creativity kind of is in the same pool as spirituality. So if you have any type of faith that you can connect with or anything, that definitely can help you to regain that part of you, which is a very real thing. It's like a baby inside of you, and you do have to nurture it. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about is just watering your creativity. Kind of like in this picture, the girl is watering, well, it looks like she was watering the flower, and then the flower is just shining down on her. And you have to remember that, or you have to remember why you started drawing. What first inspired you? Allow yourself to just, actually, let me say it this way. There's, in all of the images that people draw or take pictures of, there's one character in every picture that we forget about, and that is the viewer. You don't see them because you are their eyes. And in this case, in your own life, you are the viewer. You're not just the artist. And sometimes you do need to take a back seat and remember and go back and find the things that you love. Find new things that you love. Watch different movies. If you have the ability to, everybody has the ability to just take screenshots of things and put it in a folder in your phone of things that just visually, or in whatever creative medium that you like, just really inspire you and make you feel like you just want to create. And give yourself some time. You don't have to create right away, but just let yourself love things. Go back to things from childhood and remember why you loved them. Like, just as an example, one thing that I have always loved is, this is going to sound ridiculous, but Barbie. When I was a little girl, they used to have these Barbie storybooks, and the illustrations in them were so cute, and it was in the back of my mind, but I couldn't remember exactly what they looked like, so I actually bought them. I bought a few of them on eBay for I think they were 99 cents a piece. But yeah, just looking at them and remembering this was the first thing that inspired me to like illustrations, or it made me want to pay attention to illustrations as a kid, and it always kind of stuck in the back of my head. The other thing is remembering artists that you that initially inspired you. For me, those are people like Loish, which everybody loves her, and Leslie Hung is one of my favorite comic book artists. I love her drawings on her Instagram. They're so intimate and wonderful. And people like Jen Bartel, and those are the people that initially inspired me, and just going back and remembering why you loved those things so much. I also started watching Sailor Moon again because that was so important to me growing up, and just really getting into that creative childlike space, just letting yourself be a child, let yourself be the viewer. And it takes time. I feel like my art has kind of been way more simplified so that I can make art but not feel overwhelmed. And I've had people tell me, I miss your old work, I miss your really detailed stuff, when you used to do shading and different things, like a whole background with lots of different elements in it. And I miss that too, but my mind can't handle that right now, and that is all right. It's perfectly fine. As I go, I'm gonna take things in baby steps, and I'm just gonna move forward and make this something that's easy on myself. I'm not going to overwhelm myself. And if I can do that as a professional artist, someone who's kind of relying on my art to make me money, you can do it too. I mean, there are probably people who are maybe there are people who are watching this that are way better than me. But yeah, I also have a lot of improvement, so, you know, I've really been taking to heart the whole practice, doing figure drawing again, because I've kind of forgotten how, like, if you're watching this, you're probably like, oh my gosh, those feet look terrible. But that's the thing, I'm getting back there. I'm just slowly letting myself get back there. And yeah, the impacts of the last year will last a long time, but we have to just remember to take care of ourselves and to just be a person. You know, before you're anything else, you're a person. And even if you never pick up a pen or a pencil again, or you never turn on the camera to make a YouTube video again, or put the pen to paper to write a story, you know, you're still a person, and your transformation is important and valuable. And I just wanted to say all these things from my heart, not just to make a YouTube video. So I really appreciate you guys watching this video. If you have made it to this point, leave a comment with a flower emoji, because of course, or water maybe. You can share in the comments ways that you have, you know, been able to water your creativity, or maybe you're a person who like didn't make art before and suddenly you do because you had nothing else to do. Tell me about that. In addition, I did want to also say that this is like totally unrelated to this video, but if any of you guys are watching this video and you remember me from another art YouTuber's channel, I want to say that publicly that I do not endorse that person any longer. Again, this is totally unrelated, but there was an art YouTuber, commentary art YouTuber, who used my art for one of their videos, and I gained a pretty large following from it, and I kind of want to disavow my connection to them in any way, shape, or form. And I always kind of felt bad that my art that was really, really personal to me was used in a video that was about something so negative. And yeah, I just wanted to publicly say that I don't support that person. I wish that video could be taken down. Maybe it will soon, hopefully. I don't want to mention this person's name, but, you know, I wish them well. I hope that they get help, but, you know, I just can't affiliate myself with that any longer. So I just appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed. Have a great day and be good. Bye bye.